CBS News Bay Area Afternoon Edition with Ann Makovic.
Well, good afternoon. I'm Ryan Yamamoto in for Ann. Alaska airline flights are taking off again after a major tech outage forced a system-wide ground stop late Sunday night. There were delays and cancellations across the Bay Area today, according to the website FlightAware. Alaska Airlines canceled 7 flights and 22 delays so far today at SFO. And that's where we find Kevin Coe talking to passengers who are still feeling the ripple effects.
A rough start to the week for Alaska Airlines as it catches up, well, take a look for yourself, from a complete shutdown across the board. The airline had to ground its entire fleet last night, and travelers here at SFO are feeling the effects with more than 20 combined cancellations and delays. Alaska Airlines telling CBS News a critical piece of multi-redundant hardware at our data centers failed. But they also stressed that, quote, this IT outage is not related to any current events and is not connected to the recent cybersecurity incident at Hawaiian Airlines. That Hawaiian Airlines incident that Alaska is bringing up, along with those other current events, are all referencing cyber attacks and data outages that have hit airlines within the past month. Here in the Bay Area, tech companies in Silicon Valley have been warning that hackers are focusing more on the aviation industry. All of these airline troubles coming as SFO goes through its busiest summer travel season in years. 16.2 million travelers expected, a 4% increase from last year, with passengers today trying to get home.
Last night, I was at the Charles Schultz Airport in Santa Rosa, and while waiting to get boarded, the flight was delayed half-hour increments until it was eventually about 4 or 5 hours, and then they said that it was canceled completely, which led to another about 4 or 5 hours to get accommodations for everybody involved. So now I'm just hoping for a flight home in time to get dialysis.
So the good news here is that workers have been working nonstop to rebook travelers, including Quinn, who tells me that she was able to get rebooked on a flight back home at 8 p.m. On the other hand, the reality is there are just a limited number of flights to be rebooked. I just spoke with a gentleman who has been kind of going through this Alaska Air Group struggle, where he booked initially with Alaska Airlines, then he got rebooked to Hawaiian Airlines, and now he is trying to get his voucher back for $850 per se. Just a complicated situation for anyone to deal with, as everyone here is either trying to get to vacation or get home.
That's Kevin Coe reporting live from SFO. Richard Tillman, the brother of late Army Ranger Pat Tillman, is behind bars for suspected arson after a post office was destroyed early Sunday morning in San Jose. Police say Tillman deliberately drove a car into the Almaden Valley Post Office on Crown Boulevard, set it on fire. Dozens of firefighters were at the scene, knocked down that fire within 2 hours. Neighbors living across the street say they were woken up by an explosion. They told us they saw a man with long hair and a beard just outside the burning building.
I was watching his actions and just seeing what he was doing, and he was pacing back and forth and
drinking a beer.
Yeah, it looked like
drinking a beer.
It looked like he had a beer in his hand, and yeah, he was on his phone. So
we heard him talking about something about a federal offense and going to jail and something about Trump.
Well, there's no word yet on a motive. Tillman is being held without bail. His first hearing is now set for Wednesday. Tillman is the brother of the late Pat Tillman, the former NFL player who left his football career to join the U.S. Army after 9/11 and was killed by friendly fire in Afghanistan. We learned Pat and Richard's mother sold their house in San Jose and moved to Arizona. The Tillman family has not commented. In the meantime, the post office is closed, with investigators expected to return today to look for answers. And starting tomorrow, P.O. Box customers can pick up their mail at the Willow Glen Post Office on Meridian Avenue between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. The civil trial for San Mateo County Sheriff Christina Corpus has been set for August 6. A civil grand jury accused Corpus of conflict of interest in the hiring of her former chief of staff, as well as any retaliation in 3 high-profile personnel disputes. If found liable, she could be removed from office and may also face additional penalties at the court's discretion. She also faces a separate removal process initiated by the Board of Supervisors for similar allegations. Okay, first a little weather right now. Some of us woke up to gray skies, a little bit of mist this morning, especially if you live in the city. Meteorologist Jessica Birch with our forecast right now. Hey, Jess.
Ryan, quick question for you.
Yeah.
Are you running the half marathon this year?
I am not.
Oh, I was so excited if you were going to. Dang it. Okay, here's what's happening for us as we head outside today. I am, because I don't know why I signed up for it again, but I'm planning on doing a run in just a little bit. And I need to keep in mind, and everybody needs to keep in mind, we're still dealing with those misty, cool conditions along the coast and even into San Francisco too. So cool weather right now. It's a little bit misty out there. It should start to clear up into the afternoon hours. Now, the good part about the forecast today, we're gearing up for upper 70s all the way over in areas like Antioch, and low 70s, upper 60s all the way up into the North Bay. So it's a cool and cloudy day for us today, sitting below average for this time of year everywhere throughout the Bay Area, including the Santa Clara Valley, also in the low 70s all the way over into San Jose. Now those clouds are holding on tight to us right now in the Bay. They'll start to pull back along the coast for a little bit into the afternoon, but that's the trend for us as we head into this week. Gray skies widespread throughout the Bay and some gusty winds as we head into the evening hours tonight. I want to talk more about this because this is the big weather story for us today, but there are some changes later this week that we'll have more on coming up in just a bit. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Jess. We'll check on Wall Street right now. The Dow is trending in positive territory, up about 137 points. Meanwhile, the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ hit record highs to start the week. President Trump marking 6 months in office, and a new CBS News poll finds Americans are calling for more focus on lowering prices, while support for President Trump's deportation program has actually begun to fall. CBS News Executive Director of Elections and Surveys, Anthony Salvanto, has more on what the new poll is revealing. So, Anthony, what are Americans' most recent reactions to those deportations?
Well, let me show you. And that is, as you mentioned right there at the top, it's been declining. And you note it started off with a majority approval earlier in his term, but look at that change. It's 10 points down. But the big story is why? A couple of things here. One is that now a slight majority of the country says they think the administration is trying to deport more people than they had expected it to. That's number one. And the other part of this is it's the who. You see, increasing numbers say they think the administration is focused on deporting people who are not dangerous criminals. Those two factors have coincided with a decline in support for the program overall. But I do want to quickly note this, and that is the president's political base, Republicans, still very solidly behind him and the program. Those changes have come more from independents and some Democrats. That's where the movement has been.
And on the stock market, we had just mentioned we're seeing some record highs there. So where does the president stand in terms of the economy and inflation?
So on inflation, his handling of it has also declined over time. But part of this is a story about focus. What do people think the administration is trying to put their efforts into? And look at this disparity here. 7 and 10 say not enough focus on trying to lower prices, but by comparison, 6 and 10 say it's been too much focus on tariffs. Tariffs most people oppose, think that they're going to raise prices. So that really ties in with that concern about inflation. And very quickly, the most recent legislative win for the president, the Big Beautiful Bill Act.
And the Jeffrey Epstein case is getting lots of attention these days. So how do Americans feel Trump is handling that, particularly with his base?
Well, we talked about this, and first and foremost, we've got a big majority that says the Department of Justice should release all its information regarding the case. But to your question about the base, well, first of all, they say this doesn't necessarily matter to them a lot compared to other issues in how they evaluate the president. So there's a mix of satisfaction and dissatisfaction about that, but it hasn't moved the numbers at all on that solid Republican support for him. And that's really what's driving things. I'm going to show you here the overall job rating. And again, still solid from Republicans. Any declines that we've seen come more from independents and from whatever Democrats, some Democrats that were supporting in the early days. That's the big change overall. The other matter has not really affected the base, right?
All right, CBS News Executive Director of Elections and Surveys, Anthony Silvano, thank you very much for joining us. Well, still ahead at noon and streaming on CBS News Bay Area, California and a nonprofit are stepping up as an LGBTQ resource is cut from a national crisis line. The Trump administration's cut for the LGBTQ support option on a national suicide and crisis lifeline. Now Governor Newsom and the Trevor Project say they're stepping up to fill that gap. They released a statement that says, in part, while the Trump administration continues its attacks on LGBTQ kids, California is here to ensure that every person in our state can get the support they need to live a happy and healthy life. Our Amanda Harry spoke to a 17-year-old about the importance of those services, especially for LGBTQ youth.
It's a call that can save a life. Dialing 988 connects the caller to the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. 3 years ago, they added the option to press 3 for LGBTQ plus youth specialized services. But in June, the Trump administration announced they would eliminate that. A move 17-year-old Maya Leach says could be deadly.
These are people who are extremely high risk, and if they don't have the proper resources, then they could very easily take their own lives.
Leach was devastated by the news, but not surprised. Leach has become used to fighting for what's needed for the community.
I myself am an LGBTQIA plus youth, and it's something that I'm very proud of, but it's also something that I have to keep up with. It's something that I have to work a little harder to get just as far.
Leach experienced some relief when Governor Gavin Newsom announced through a partnership with the Trevor Project that they will be providing counselors with increased training to assist LGBTQ youth. But there's still concern.
I'm very appreciative of it, but also I can't stop thinking about all the people in all the other states. It's very important. 40% of LGBTQI plus youth consider suicide. That was data from the last year. And they are affected disproportionately when it comes to mental health crises, as well as many other things.
In the Castro, surrounded by a culture of support and rainbow flags, Sam Hayes still couldn't help but be disappointed by the loss of another resource.
It's just a weird situation that you wake up every day and something else is taken away.
Yeah.
You know, and it's really sad.
Hayes identifies as a gay man. He's fortunate to have a supportive community, but he knows some other people, especially outside of California, aren't so lucky, and they may need specialized services.
I think it's a valuable tool for somebody who's struggling, and to take that away is I don't even know what to say. You know, it's like, it's horrible.
But both Hayes and Leach are grateful to live in a state that's pushing back and educating 988 counselors. Still, Leach wants to emphasize that there are other options for support and encourages people to seek them out.
There's so many resources, and there's also such great community, especially living in the Bay Area. There's such great community here for LGBTQ people, especially LGBTQI plus youth, and really taking advantage of that and finding hope with other people, I think, is really important and really impactful.
And the Trump administration maintains that anyone who calls the service will still receive help, saying they would just no longer be separating those specific types of calls. New at noon, San Francisco's Oasis nightclub announced it will close on January 1st. The club has been a big hub for the LGBTQ plus community in the Soma district, known for its drag and cabaret performances since 2014. In a social media post, the club blamed rising costs and declining attendance. They said, while they're closing the physical nightclub, they will continue their Oasis Arts program. Okay, back to our first alert weather right now. Let's give you a live look outside from our Black Mountain camera. You can see nice and sunny out in that area. Let's check back in with meteorologist Jessica Birch. And Jess, you know, I kind of took a break from running this year, but Now you make me feel guilty. Maybe I should join the race.
I'm just putting you out there on live TV. I'm just calling you out. That's all it is. Here's what's happening for us as we head outside for all the runners and non-runners out there. Here's what we can expect into this afternoon. You already see clear conditions down in the Santa Clara Valley with 70s in store for us today. There, it'll be sunny throughout our inland spots like Antioch and Livermore with 70s widespread throughout the East Bay. These 70s are below average for this time of year, by the way, and we're noticing a similar trend, even cooler for some of our North Bay areas from Petaluma over into Napa, with upper 60s and lower 70s all throughout the North Bay. Now, heading into the next couple of days, we'll continue to see normal or below normal conditions when it comes to our daytime highs. And we're also going to notice a plethora of just those clouds in the marine layer holding on tight to us here in the Bay, especially into the afternoon hours. There's still a little bit of mist right now, but that should start clearing up throughout the next couple hours as winds start to ramp up a bit more. Today, we could see wind gusts up to around 30 miles per hour throughout the North Bay and even along the North Coast too. Down into San Francisco, it looks very similar, and we're keeping a close eye on that as we head into the evening hours tonight and past tonight all the way into the rest of this week. The next 6 to 10 days, the Climate Prediction Center is showing below normal conditions for our daytime highs, and it's noticeable a lot more so in our inland areas compared to the Bay. The Bay is holding on tight to 60s each day this week with cloudy skies in the morning, starting to break apart into the afternoon hours. However, our friends in our inland spots that are usually sitting around, let's say 80s and 90s in the forecast, even sometimes triple digits around this time of year in July, well, we're seeing 70s each day this week, lasting into this weekend's forecast, partly cloudy skies into early next week, and a gradual warming trend as high pressure starts to build its way in all throughout our Sunday and Monday forecast of next week. We'll keep you updated on that here in the Weather Center.
All right, thanks, Jess. Well, some sad news. The Cosby Show star Malcolm-Jamal Warner has died. Authorities in Costa Rica say Warner died in an accidental drowning on Sunday afternoon. He was swimming along the coast in the Limon province when a current pulled him deeper into the ocean. His body was recovered by beachgoers. Warner played Theo Huxtable, the son of Bill Cosby's character. He was only 54 years old. Still ahead, COVID cases increasing in more than half the United States. The group seeing a jump in serious cases. Well, if you're flying on Southwest, you'll soon get to choose your seat starting on January 27th. It's the first time in the airline's history it's offering assigned seats. Tickets for assigned seats can be purchased beginning next week. Earlier this year, Southwest announced it would also no longer offer 2 free checked bags to many customers. Well, that's it for the afternoon edition. Remember, we're streaming 24/7 on the free CBS News app. Our next newscast is at 5 o'clock. Have a great afternoon.